Welcome back to GBGunsDepot.com and GBGuns. We're here at the range surrounded by beautiful vineyards in Northwest Oregon. Those beautiful vineyards mean on a day like today, we've got airplanes flying around and this guy just circled back again. So please pardon the airplane noise that you're hearing. We've been here all day and this guy's been circling back and forth all day. Anyways, the reason why we're here, 9 versus 40. It used to be a common debate. 40 cal seems to have kind of died off in popularity lately, but it existed for a reason, right? It came as a tamer version of 10 mil. 10 mil was too much. Smith & Wesson made it a little shorter, a little weaker, S&W, and created 40 cal. That's literally all it is a slight reduction in the case length. I never got into 40. I just didn't see a reason for increased recoil and ammunition expense, especially when I was doing lots of high volume shooting. So though I've been through a couple hundred handguns, I never owned a 40 cal until this beautiful vintage Walther P99 showed up at a local pawn shop and I couldn't resist. That caused me to buy my first box of 40 cal. And since I have a slightly newer generation Walther P99 in 9mm, that means we've got two guns with the same system, same trigger, same barrel length, just slightly different in caliber. And I'm really curious, is 40 worth it? So what we plan on testing today is we're going to chronograph these two loads. It's just generic S&B 180 grain for our 40 cal and some Igman 115 grain 9mm. So nothing special. Sorry they don't match by manufacturer, but we are still in an ammo crunch crisis. We're going to chronograph 5 rounds of these, take a look at the energy difference, and then we're going to try a little test shooting at our steel to see about the recoil difference. And then you'll hear from myself and Miss Teya as far as, is the increase in power worth it? Can you land shots quickly as with 9mm? And kind of wanted to open up the discussion. What do you think is worth it? Would it take twice as many shots of 9mm for you to be comfortable with the less energy over 40? 3 times as many shots? Do not care because your first shot's going to land perfectly and end the fight. It's just kind of one of those open debate things, but I've always been curious about it, and it wasn't until finding this old P99 that I had a reason to have 40. And since we've got 2 P99s, we can make a fair test. Let's get to it. All right, first load is the 9mm. This is Igman 115 grain, and just kind of some bulk military ammo style-ish packaging, if you will. Our chronograph is 10 feet away, and it appears that our ballistic precision chronograph has developed a little bit of personality. Seems to only want to be showing meters per second. T is going to show you the screen while I fire these 5 rounds. Hopefully it's feet per second, not meters per second. Either way, through the magic of editing, I'm going to be calculating the muzzle energy so you can find out what kind of power is coming out of this. Yep, 338 is certainly not feet per second. 329, 327, 322, 327. Fairly consistent. And now for our 40. The S&B 180 grain. Chronograph is still set on the same readings. We'll see how many meters per second this is running since our chrono doesn't like to do feet anymore. 286, 291, 289, 286, 287. And the brass landed somewhere in the next county. Yeah. Through the magic of editing, you'll now be seeing wonderful numbers telling us what kind of energy difference there is between these two. I can tell you that this certainly recoils more. One small disclaimer, sorry it's not entirely fair, is that the 9mm has a DPM Systems recoil reducing multi-spring system in it. This is probably the original recoil spring in this 40, so even if these were both 9, the DPM system would make for a softer shooter, but still, we've got the 2 guns. This is as close to a real test as we can get. We'll go see what we can do on the steel, and then you'll hear from Teya and I as far as controllability and speed, as well as you'll get to watch us struggle through that. So, Miss Teya is on deck, and about 20 yards away we have our reduced size steel torso. She's going to try 5 rounds at as much speed as she can guarantee the shots. Why only 5? Well, because we don't have a lot of ammo. And give us her thoughts on the 40.
I'm glad there's not more than 5 shots.
Well, you hit 4 out of 5 in fairly rapid succession.
The third shot, the one that I missed, was because I flinched. I did the old-fashioned, eek, we gotta go again. But man, I can feel this movement. I injured myself at the gym. I can feel it even in my back. The recoil is so intense. So.
Alrighty. And now for the same thing with the 9mm. So
I went too fast.
That was 4 out of 5 hits, just like the 40 cal, and it seemed like the same cadence.
I was trying to keep the same cadence. I missed that shot because I took it as I was coming up on target. I was not quite on target. I saw that just as I pulled the shot that I pulled it too soon. A lot more controllable, a lot more pleasant to shoot, and for me, the sights on this made a big difference in getting it on target faster to be able to keep a quicker rate of fire.
Another difference between these two pistols, folks, is this has tritium fiber optic sights. This was one of my carry guns, so it has been modded a bit. But as far as recoil control, was the difference big to you?
The difference is big. It's huge, actually. For me, the difference is huge. I don't think it's something that I couldn't overcome. I haven't had a lot of experience with the 40s either. But yeah, it's a pretty big difference.
With the 40, and if anyone can please explain to me why that word is spelled F-O-U-R-T-Y, but pronounced 40, I would appreciate it. Here we go. That's too fast, I missed. Wow. I think what I just experienced there is that since I'm so used to 9mm recoil, I was expecting to be able to shoot faster. I also have a lot of time with my old P99. This feels almost like the same gun. And so no, I could not shoot 9mm speeds with this. So I think maybe I'm having a bad moment. Let's try the 9mm. And the 9mm. Yes, it is a DASA striker fired gun. That's how I was able to keep pulling. That just didn't feel like 5 rounds. That went way faster and smoother for me. Popped right back on target. Is that my personal bias from spending a lot of time with this gun? I don't think so, because that's also a P99, the same grip, same trigger. This was just way more controllable for me. I felt the confidence with it. So that leads the question up to you all. What are your thoughts on 40 versus 9mm? You've seen the numbers already. We haven't seen that yet. I'll calculate those once we get home to be able to put them in the video. Is the extra energy of 40 worth it? Was it maybe never worth it, and that's why the caliber's kind of dead? Or is it just you enjoy shooting, and so you want an enjoyable gun to shoot, and so you go with 9? For me, I could see if it was just for a carry gun that practiced every once in a while, I'd have no problem with 40. If I was about to head to a 1200 round count 4-day training course, I'd go with the 9. I mean, the 40 was not that enjoyable. Once again, the disclaimer, this does have that DPM Systems recoil reducer in it. It does make the gun a little bit smoother. However, I think what we saw and felt was more the difference of caliber than the equipment. But wait, there's more. Teya had an idea we're going to try out. I just put the DPM system from the 9mm into the 40. This spring rate may not be right. However, I'm guessing the vintage spring that was in this thing was pretty tired to begin with. So I'm going to try one more time with the 40 running that DPM system, see if it makes any difference.
Yeah. It looked like it did.
Yeah. That's nice. So is it really a matter of caliber or is it equipment? I think Teya should shoot 5 out of this just to give us an opinion. It was definitely more pop than a 9mm, but it didn't hurt my wrist this time. And now Teya with the 40 and the DPM system. Whoa!
I'd say that makes a bit of a difference. Not having that painful recoil, if you will, my confidence increased and I was feeling like I wanted to shoot faster. I was able to come back down faster, so yeah, spring.
With that spring in there, if you had to choose between 9 and 40, are there currently any detractors for 40?
No, nope. I before was adamant, absolutely not would I do a course with a 40. Now I would attempt it. Yes, I'm going to be a little bit more sore than if I was taking a 9, but it's doable now. I like it.
Interesting. So this, of course, turns back to the audience. Let us know, do you have 9 and 40 in the same model gun with about the same wear on them? If so, is there a huge difference? Is it worth it? And did we just accidentally reinvigorate 40?
But what do the ballistics say too? I'm kind of curious about that.
Yeah, we'll see that when we get home. Anyways, just a fun, quick experiment. Thanks for joining us.